This is the KLR 650 clutch assembly. What I've got to do is I've got to get everything off of this side of the engine. First thing you do to disassemble the clutch is remove these 5 bolts. Underneath that is a set of springs which will come out. And then it's a simple job to pull out the clutch plate assembly. If you happen to be replacing your clutch, you'll either buy a kit that has just the friction plates, or you'll buy a complete set that's also got the metal plates. This is the clutch hub. It's connected to the transmission. This is the clutch basket, which is connected to the engine through these gears. This is the clutch hub nut, which is assembled with a torque of 100 foot-pounds. The problem in getting this thing off is that the hub and the basket are not connected at all. If you're replacing your complete clutch assembly, you could take your old clutch assembly and bolt it together and put it in here, put a crossbar on there and tie everything together and build yourself a clutch disassembly tool. If you're just replacing the friction plates, you're kind of screwed. You're probably going to need some kind of a tool. Some folks will say, well, you can just jam the engine with a penny. If you put a penny between the gears, that does lock up the engine, as you can see, but the hub is still free to turn. So we need to lock these two together. This nut, you will be able to take that off if you just jam it with a penny. Or better yet, if you've got a gear that'll drop in there, you can do that too. But since I'm going to be reusing my clutch assembly, since it just seems to be in fine shape, I don't want to screw up my clutch plates and build a tool for it. So what I did is I went out and I bought this EBC clutch tool for the KLR 650. And the way it works is it slides in here, and then you can rotate it down and it stops right here on the swing arm pivot. Now everything is locked together, nothing can move, so we should be able to pop this nut off. Now this is a 30mm nut, this is a 32. We're going to use this tool to remove both of these, so I'm going to have to flip this around and have it hook up someplace else. I'm a little leery of jamming a penny in there if I don't have to, because it puts a side load on the bearings and all that kind of stuff. So I'll try and use the tool to do everything. Now, I've never done this on a KLR 650 before, but what I tried before getting this tool was putting the chain on, putting the thing in 5th gear, locking down the brake here with a cheater bar. And what I found was that there's a lot of elasticity in the system. You're going through the transmission, you're going through the chain, you're going back to the cush drive, and I could turn this about a quarter of a turn before I got into really good resistance. And then what happened when I really leaned into it, the brake simply wouldn't hold the rear tire. If I had a helper, probably might have been able to get it off that way. I could also have stuck a bar through the spokes or a bar through the sprocket or something like that, but you run the risk of breaking things doing that, so I opted not to do that. I don't have an air impact wrench. I used to. Kind of gave up on doing heavy duty work on cars and stuff a long time ago, and when my compressor died I got rid of it and got rid of all my air tools. So we're going to do this manually with a breaker bar. So with this locked down, should be able to pop this thing loose. There it goes. That was a lot. I spent 45 minutes on this before I got the tool, and this was real easy with the tool. No fuss, no muss. Now we're going to try and get this thing to pop loose. So I'm gonna flip this around and see where I can get some purchase on the tool. That'll catch there. This is a 32 over here, as I mentioned before. Uh-oh. That bent the tool. Shit. Okay, the only bad day you'll ever have is when you don't learn something. And what I learned is that the way to use this tool is to pull this hub out and then brace the tool against the socket that you're going to use to pop this nut loose. And it's fairly tight, but it will pop off, no problem. Once that's done, you can spin this nut off. Obviously the clutch basket will come off. This washer will come off, and then these are keyed on, but they can be popped off. So there you have it. Opened up the right side of the KLR motor and was done without too much drama.